My name is H.A. Goodman, and I'm an author, columnist, and journalist. And to read my writing and to see my latest CNN appearances and my MSNBC and RT appearances, you can go to hagoodman.com. My RT appearance on Crosstalk is below. Please continue to share the link, and thank you so much for the kind words and support. So, at first, Hillary Clinton's brainwashed following blamed Bernie Bros. First, it was Bernie Bros. Then it was the FBI. Then it was Russia. Then it was Jill Stein for third-party candidates. I know I'm leaving out a couple of other scapegoats. Putin, James Comey broke the Hatch Act. Then he didn't when he cleared Clinton. No, first he cleared Clinton, then he broke the Hatch Act by finding emails on Weiner's laptop while he was investigating pictures of Anthony Weiner's wiener. Then now it's Oprah Winfrey. I'm going to read you it's it's gotten to the point where it's so pathetic and sad, but amusing at the same time. Since I've been warning this cult following surrounding Hillary Clinton that if Bernie Sanders was cheated, and when he was cheated by the DNC, we know from WikiLeaks emails. And when I put in my videos, WikiLeaks 1 through 36, this entire election, everything pertaining to what's going on, relates to WikiLeaks 1 through 36, DNC leaks, the DNC WikiLeaks number 1 and 2. We learned that Debbie Wasserman Schultz completely favored Hillary Clinton, cheated Bernie Sanders. She lost her job, as did 4 other Democratic officials. Then we learned that Donna Brazile was feeding Hillary Clinton questions. She lost her job at CNN. Then we learned in WikiLeaks 1 through 36 that Wolf Blitzer was doing the same things. He should lose his job. But then we learned that journalists were actually giving the Clinton campaign articles to edit. And then we also learned that Hillary Clinton admitted that Saudi Arabia and Qatar provide clandestine support to IS, yet she still accepted money from these nations to her foundation. This is Veterans Day. We have 1 million Americans injured in both wars out of the 2.5 million Americans who've served. We have, by one estimate, 400,000 traumatic brain injuries. Do you think Bill Maher or Patton Oswalt or all these comedians who are just they're so upset. They're so upset that Hillary lost. Do you think they care about the 2 wars, the counterinsurgency wars, the fact that half to 2/3 of all the Americans killed and wounded in Iraq and Afghanistan were the victims of IED blasts? They don't care, and they don't care about the fact that both Bill and Hillary Clinton presided over an era of mass incarceration. They don't care that Hillary Clinton used racism against Barack Obama, a racist 3 a.m. ad, that she spread a photo of Barack Obama in African attire, that David Plouffe called the most shameful offensive fear-mongering of either party in 2008. I'm going to get to that in a second, but I'll read you. This is the Hollywood Reporter. It's unbelievable. Oprah Winfrey faces backlash about her comments following Donald Trump's win. Some Twitter users, so what was Oprah's crime? What was Oprah Winfrey's just horrible, offensive statement? She tweeted out, "Everybody take a deep breath," and then she said something to the effect that I'm hopeful for the nation. This completely destroys the narrative that, oh, the sky is falling, and we must just forget about the racism from Hillary Clinton's campaign for decades, calling black youth super predators. Everybody gives Clinton a free pass because really the neoliberals and the alt-right need each other. They're the ones they've both combined to create the era of mass incarceration, to allow an era where Hillary Clinton gets away with everything in terms of racism. Well, I can go on forever about that. But while speaking to the Associated Press on Thursday, Oprah Winfrey admitted that she was in disbelief at Donald Trump's win and Hillary Clinton's shocking defeat on Tuesday. But the media mogul was seemingly so impressed by the president-elect's meeting with President Obama that her feelings took a different turn as she tweeted, "Everyone take a deep breath. Hope lives." What is wrong with what Oprah Winfrey said? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Winfrey went on to explain her reasoning behind her optimism. "I can sense, maybe I'm wrong, but I can sense from Donald Trump's body language, even when he came out for the acceptance speech, that brother has been humbled by this world thing," which is true. If any objective person, then Patton Oswalt tweets, "Oprah, what the fuck? This is not one of my favorite things." Well, who the cares? Who cares what Patton Oswalt thinks about anything? Then some other people tweeted, "Okay, this is not one of my favorite things, Patton Oswalt." Well, Patton Oswalt apparently doesn't care about the fact that she used racism against Barack Obama in 2008, the fact that she brought up the assassination of Bobby Kennedy. Could you imagine, as one of the reasons to keep running? The fact that she spread a photo of Barack Obama in African attire. The fact that, according to Harvard's Orlando Patterson, Hillary Clinton used a racist 3 a.m. ad that had a racist sub-message, refused to admit that President Obama was Christian in 2008. Then, of course, there's the campaign memo from strategist Mark Penn saying that Obama should be painted as the other. I'll get to that in a second. These are all things. Then the prison lobbyist donations. Hillary Clinton took more prison lobbyist money in 2015 than even Jeb Bush. Hillary Clinton waited 3 weeks after Michael Brown was killed to make a statement. And everybody was wondering, where is Hillary Clinton? Do you think everybody from Patton Oswalt to Bill Maher to all the New York Times writers and the Washington Post writers and these people, you think they care at all? They care only about what somebody at a high school did, painted a swastika someplace. Meanwhile, big events like this, the election of somebody that nobody thought, in this case, Trump, but the same dynamic took place on the opposite end of the spectrum when President Obama became president in 2008. There were hate crimes that increased. So I will go ahead and I'll get to that in a second too. It wasn't President Obama's fault then. It's not Donald Trump's fault now. He met with President Obama in the White House. Another, but no. Oprah, you can take a deep breath and hold it while the rest of us literally fight for our lives right now. What the? Fight for our lives? What do you think Trump's gonna do? Like, come out of the White House and just eat people, gobble people up? This is like these people, these neoliberal, just weak, surreptitious racists that really don't care about how many bills have even been introduced in Congress protecting black citizens, unarmed black citizens, from the scourge of police brutality or from getting killed. We had Eric Garner, Trayvon Martin, John Crawford, Sandra Bland, Walter Scott. Do you think any of these celebrities, do you think, Oprah, you can take a deep breath and hold it while the rest of us literally fight for our lives right now? You think these people, I used to have great respect for Oprah. Don't you dare, Oprah. Who are these people? These people just come out of the woodwork, or they're in show business, or they're in Hollywood, and they don't care about unemployment in inner cities. They don't care about issues affecting the black community. Why? Because they don't bring it up. They only care about Trump being the prototype or the epitome of what they consider racist. When it's a Democrat, I will read you right here. This is something that Bill Maher and John Oliver and all the neoliberal comedians and people who think they're so down and cool, right here, September 2016, leaked 2015 memo told Dems don't offer support for Black Lives Matter policy positions. This wasn't Donald Trump saying don't offer support. This was an internal memo. The memo lists several suggestions for how Democratic congressional candidates should handle an encounter with a Black Lives Matter activist. Don't offer support for the concrete policy positions of Black Lives Matter protesters. This is a Huffington Post article titled Leaked 2015 memo told Dems don't offer support for Black Lives Matter policy positions. That seems pretty racist to me, Bill Maher. It seems pretty racist to me, all the indignant celebrities who can't stand Oprah's, horrific crime of saying, yeah, I think that we have some hope in this country. Washington, don't offer support for the concrete policy positions of Black Lives Matter protesters. The chief organization charged with electing Democrats to the House of Representatives warned its candidates in an internal memo leaked online Wednesday. The document was posted online by Guccifer 2.0, a hacker who has claimed to be responsible for the Democratic National Committee email leak. Guccifer claims the document is from the personal server of the House Minority Leader, Nancy Pelosi. A number of cybersecurity firms and Democrats have attributed the leak to Russian hackers, but they never said it's not authentic. Of course it's authentic. That's why these comedians and these celebrities, they think they're so cool, but they don't care. They don't care about the racism, number one, within the Democratic Party. They certainly aren't aware that 29% of Latinos chose Trump over Hillary Clinton. That's a higher percentage than Romney got in 2012. Presidential candidates have struggled to respond to the tactics of Black Lives Matter movement, reads the memo sent by Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee staffer in November. Quote, while there has been little engagement with House candidates and campaign staff should be prepared. The document should not be mailed or handed to anyone outside the building. Please only give campaign staff these best practices in meeting over the phone. The memo, which describes Black Lives Matter as, quote, a radical movement that aims to end anti-Black racism. A radical movement, okay. If approached, and this is the racism that far overshadows anything Trump has said. Trump has said statements that I don't agree with, but he's not like the walking definition of racism. This is a far greater example of racism. If approached by BLM activists, campaign staff should offer to meet with local activists. Listen to their concerns. Don't offer support for concrete policy positions. End of story right there. That's the end of story right there. You are an absolute hypocrite if you think that Trump or anything he's done is more racist than Democrats who owe everything to black voters, spreading an internal memo to politicians saying don't even really don't offer any policy positions. So if Black Lives Matter is saying, hey, what can we do to protect unarmed black citizens, don't really help them. That's what Democrats do. And that's what the brainwashed cult following, many of whom are celebrities, either ignore or they accept. If they accept it, they are racist. If they ignore it, they're stupid and ignorant. Well, they might be both, a little bit of both. But The Guardian, this is 2008. Clinton aides claim Obama photo wasn't intended as a smear. Barack Obama's campaign team today accused Hillary Clinton's beleaguered staff of mounting a desperate tricks campaign. Desperate dirty tricks operation by circulating a picture of him in African dress, feeding into false claims on U.S. websites that he is a Muslim. Now, the campaign chairman in the New York Times actually defended it. So don't say, well, it wasn't Hillary's campaign. No, Hillary's campaign chairman defended it. Obama's campaign manager, David Plouffe, described it as the most shameful, quote, the most shameful offensive fear-mongering we've seen from either party in this election. The most shameful, offensive fear-mongering we've seen from either party this election. Okay, you want more racism from Hillary Clinton? You want more racism that the Washington Post and Slate and TPM and all these wonderful, the vanguards, the protectors of good, civil, and politically correct behavior. The hypocrites. They are the biggest hypocrites. And they're the biggest reason why we have racism in this country. It's not just the ultra-right or they're always going to be a certain way. It's the people who are supposed to protect minorities and black citizens and Latinos and people of color and from racism that ignore when they ignore the racism within the Democratic Party, they're doing more damage than anything Trump could do or anything the alt-right could do. The red phone in black and white. Okay, this is Orlando Patterson in 2008 talking about Hillary Clinton's racist 3 a.m. ad. I'll just find here. On first watching Hillary Clinton's recent 3 a.m. advertisement, I was left with the uneasy feeling that something was not quite right. Something that went beyond my disappointment that she had decided to go negative. Repeated watching of the ad on YouTube increased my unease. I realized that I had only too often in my study of America's racial history seen images much like this and the sentiments to which they allude. Professor Patterson goes on to say that I have spent my life studying the pictures and symbols of racism and slavery, and when I saw the Clinton ad's central image, innocent sleeping children and a mother in the middle of the night, at risk of mortal danger, it brought to my mind scenes of the past. I couldn't help but think of D.W. Griffith's Birth of a Nation, the racist movie epic that helped revive the Ku Klux Klan. The danger implicit in the phone ad, as I see it, is the person answering the phone might be a black man, someone who could not be trusted to protect us from this threat. The ad could easily have removed its racist submessage by including images of a black child, mother, or father. The ad could easily have removed its racist submessage. We have a Harvard professor. We have Obama's campaign manager in 2008. You want more racism from Hillary Clinton? You weak, pathetic celebrities who can't stand Oprah saying, hey, maybe there's hope for the country. Let's go. Oh, Hillary Clinton said she agrees her role in mass incarceration was a mistake. Think progress. Former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton was pressed on her record on mass incarceration as First Lady at the CNN presidential debate. Clinton has been hammered by Black Lives Matter protesters and African American writers over her advocacy of the 1994 crime bill, which is widely considered to have exacerbated mass incarceration by creating harsh sentences. In pushing the legislation, she invoked the racially charged myth of super predators, or the idea that young black people needed to be locked up because they were irrevocably violent and immoral. She used that same horrific sentiment to say that there are deplorable people. All the people voting for Trump are deplorable. Obviously, the super predator comment was insidious and far more violent, insidious, and led to incarceration of black citizens. I'm not making a direct correlation. I'm saying Hillary Clinton, for some reason, focuses on people doing on 3 a.m. What people are doing on 3 a.m. She did it with President Obama. She did it with Trump with the tweets. Okay, and then she's into painting everyone with the same brush. She did it when she was trying to spread the crime bill in 2000 in the 90s, calling black youth super predators, which Ashley Williams, who's a hero in this election, protested. Okay, then Hillary Clinton apologized. But then she called millions of Americans, 29% of Latinos apparently, deplorable and beyond hope or irredeemable. No redemption for the people who dare not vote for her. Then we know, I'll leave you with this, Clinton's Pied Piper strategy. In 2000, in WikiLeaks 1 through 36, we found out that they thought they were so smart. And they said, let's pump up, let's try to, elevate Donald Trump. But and then you hear today, well, they're talking about Russia, and Russia was, talking to Trump. Donald Trump talked politics with Bill Clinton weeks before launching 2016 bid. 4 Trump allies and 1 Clinton associate familiar with the exchange said that Clinton encouraged Trump's effort to play a larger role in the Republican Party and offered his own views of the political landscape. Well, that didn't work, did it? Didn't work too well. Now you have President-elect Trump. Congrats, Bill Clinton. You did a great job. Give me your thoughts below. These dumb, just pathetic celebrities who think they're so cool and they're protecting us. You cheated Bernie Sanders. I've been telling people for over a year, you're not going to get high voter turnout. if you cheat Bernie Sanders, you're not going to get high voter turnout, and Trump is going to win. Bernie Sanders would have destroyed Donald Trump, but you didn't want that. Jill Stein was there, true progressive. I voted for Dr. Jill Stein. And you couldn't take a stand. You just groupthink celebrities who now hate Oprah. So it was Russia, 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 and then the FBI, and then Bernie Bros, and then sexism, and then it's a witch hunt, and then a GOP conspiracy, and now it's Oprah Winfrey. And then now, oh, the Electoral College, that's a good one. Another day, tomorrow will bring a new scapegoat. One can only imagine. Give me your thoughts below. Thank you so much for listening. Now they're after Oprah Winfrey. Give me your thoughts. Thank you so much for listening. Then it was Jill Stein for third-party candidates. I know I'm leaving out a couple of other scapegoats. Putin, James Comey broke the Hatch Act. Then he didn't when he cleared Clinton. No, first he cleared Clinton, then he broke the Hatch Act by finding emails on Weiner's laptop while he was investigating pictures of Anthony Weiner's wiener. Then, now it's Tsar provide clandestine support to IS, yet she still accepted money from these nations to her foundation. This is Veterans Day. We have 1 million Americans injured in both wars out of the 2.5 million Americans who've served. We have, by one estimate, 400,000 traumatic brain injuries. Do you think Bill Maher or Patton Oswalt or all these comedians who are just they're so upset. They're so upset that Hillary lost. Do you think they care about the two? Oprah Winfrey. I'm going to read you it's it's gotten to the point where it's so pathetic and sad, but amusing at the same time. Since I've been warning this cult following surrounding Hillary Clinton that if Bernie Sanders was cheated, and when he was cheated by the DNC, we know from WikiLeaks emails, and when I put on my videos, WikiLeaks 1 through 36, this entire election, everything pertaining to what's going on relates to WikiLeaks 1 through 36, DNC leaks, the DNC WikiLeaks number 1 and 2. We learned that Debbie Wasserman Schultz completely favored Hillary Clinton, cheated Bernie Sanders. She lost her job, as did 4 other Democratic officials. Then we learned that Donna Brazile was feeding Hillary Clinton questions. She lost her job at CNN. Then we learned in WikiLeaks 1 through 36 that Wolf Blitzer was doing the same things. He should lose his job. But then we learned that journalists were actually giving the Clinton campaign articles to edit. And then we also learned that Hillary Clinton admitted that Saudi Arabia and Qatar. My name is H.A. Goodman, and I'm an author, columnist, and journalist. And to read my writing and to see my latest CNN appearances and my MSNBC and RT appearances, you can go to hagoodman.com. My RT appearance on Crosstalk is below. Please continue to share the link. And thank you so much for the kind words and support. So, at first, Hillary Clinton's brainwashed following blamed Bernie Bros. First, it was Bernie Bros. Then it was the FBI. Then it was Russia.